Hello again. This is episode 5 of making Bread.li or Bread.li. In the last episode, I was preparing the site to put that video and the previous video, episode 3, on the site, and we were also running through a few of the package manager setups, and we got Jekyll working for the first time round, both locally and setting it up on the live site. What I thought I'd do is, firstly, here are the videos. I did it in a pull request this afternoon, I think, when I came home from work. I wanted to do it at work, but I just didn't get around to it. And if we check out, if we go into issues and then pull requests and we check the closed ones, and here it is. We've got episodes here, and I kind of did all the organizing stuff and referenced everything all nice and tidy. I'm showing you this really because this was like the one thing I didn't do on camera. So just showing you that bit. I'm trying to get as much as I can to these videos. It's just a problem when you're actually recording something that's going to go on a website you're actually building. It's like chicken and egg problem. So yes, they are on here. They got uploaded, and we did that using, if we click on the commit, we can see we used the markdown file. And we've got an iframe here and an iframe here under our titles, our H2s. Great. So now what I wanted to do is check the issues that we have currently open at the moment. Let's have a look at hash 2, which was our first proper issue. And it says install any gulp dependencies. Now, there's a few gulp like additions that I've used, and they were suggested to me by a friend of mine called Ben Reed. In fact, he was just here a moment ago, and we do a podcast together, so he came over for a moment or for a bit and recorded our like bi-weekly podcasts of just us chatting. So we're referencing each other now because we talked about this in the podcast. So I'll stop talking about that for copying content over. I don't want to repeat ourselves. And yes, he showed me a few things, and I used them on the documentation that I did for BaseKit, and I used a few gulp packages on there. So what I want to do is install a couple and get them working, because we wanted to get that HTML5 shiv to like appear in a JavaScript file, in a JavaScript directory. And then we've got like our first dependency that's running through most of our package manager systems. So it's using Bower and it's using gulp, and we're already using NPM because we've got gulp and Bower already going, and we're going to start using them. So it'll all start like once we get this HTML5 shiv working. It's like the first very small justification of using all these systems, and then it will be justified more so once we get more into it. Like, you know, what if I want to use jQuery? What if I want to use a load of other plugins that I've seen, or frameworks or whatever? Yes, so let's have a look at the gulp file. So this is gulp file.js, and that's what gulp uses. And we've got a few requirements here. So this is basically saying, this is basically applying a variable to something. I'm looking at a couple in here. There's gulp rename. So this renames a file. Very simple concept, and I think that will be one that we would want. I tell you what would be a good idea is to go back to this, and it says install any gulp dependencies. So let's, do we want to edit the comment? Or do we want to comment on? We don't want to. We want to edit the comment. We're going to edit the comment, and we're going to put a list like coming off this one, and we want to put in gulp rename. Guys, type, and what other ones that we like? I like gulp filter. Do we need that now? We definitely need main bower files. That is one that literally what it says in the tin. It checks for a bower component and takes the main file that's referenced in the bower file. So in the case of the HTML5 shiv, it will just take the HTML5 shiv.js file and put it into our project. God, I need a drink. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, we definitely need that one. So let's put that in the list. Main bower file. Oh, it says main bower files, but yeah. Okay, and I'm using some other stuff in here to like convert SVGs and we've got gulp uglify for making our JavaScript look ugly but compressed. Let's go with those two. Let's go with those two because those are perfectly fine. Let's update the comments, see if that's formatted. Lovely. Puts a list below this list. So we want gulp rename and we want main bower files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for this like as if you were doing it for the first time. I know what it's called because it's right here, but let's forget about this. Let's go to, let's not go to bower, let's go to npmjs.com. And we're going to find packages and we're going to look for gulp rename. Search for it. There it is, gulp rename. And we can install this using just that there. The site seems to be on mobile view and there we go. Okay. Ah, here you go. Look, here's the command right on the side here. So let's switch to our command line. Let's do a git pull to check whether we're all up to date. Well, the GitHub Pages one's obviously changed because we did that pull request over, and that's regarded as an extra commit. Some people don't notice that, but when you do a pull request on GitHub, that's considered as another commit, and it will have a different commit hash. It's not like a push and pull between two branches. You're doing a merge, and that's considered as making another change to the file. So that's a difference. And in theory, if you wanted to keep pull requesting to each branch back and forth, you could continuously do that, and it would regard it as changes continuously, even though nothing's actually being changed. It's a weird thing that I discovered after doing it once or twice and then wondering why the hell I'm doing it. Anyway, let's install this. So npm install, and we're saving this, so we need to do save, but I think we can do it in any order. So if we do gulp rename, I cannot type, sorry. Yeah, that was right. Gulp rename save. So we're going to install this, and it's going to add it to our package.json file. Done. That's it. And we shouldn't open trash, and we shouldn't open that. We should open up this, and then we'll open up recents, and one of them should be package.json. And in here, there we go. It's added it in. I think I'll stop showing you guys this file because you can see what's happening. It's every time a dependency is added in, it adds in the name and the version number. And this will update whenever you kind of want to update stuff yourself. Like if you want to update gulp rename or bow or something like that, then it will update in here. Yep, so I shall stop referencing that so much. What was the other one? The other one was main bower files. Quite an important one. We want to get our main bower files from bower, from the JSON file, and switch it over to the into our project. Like chuck it in there. Here it is, and surprisingly, it's as simple as that. So I'm going to literally just paste this because I'm lazy. Just thinking about it. There we go. Bash. It's got a little bit more to it, I guess. So now we can start playing around with a few things. What we need to do is start setting up a few of the classic file setups that we get. At the minute we've been using a lot of stuff that's not really like the classics in terms of web design and web development. We've been using a lot of like in my eyes relatively new techniques. We did do an index.html file, which is like, you know, good old fashioned index file for a home page or any page. But we haven't like done much more. So one of those things is creating a JavaScript folder, and it is literally going to be JS. That's the folder. That's the folder we're going to be creating. But I've just realized that gulp is far more clever than this. So we don't actually need to make that JavaScript file. We're going to get gulp to make it. So let's move that folder to trash and get ourselves a gulp file going on. So so yet again we're gonna skip the whole vanilla technique of making a basic website, and we're gonna make a gulp file. So gulp file.js. Here we go. Right, so I'm gonna have to, let's get rid of that file, that untitled one. I'm gonna have to take a look at my files from my docs site because I cannot remember these things. Because like I said in one of the other episodes of this, I'm not very good with JavaScript. I need to brush up on it, and syntaxing can be quite difficult for me to remember. Even though gulp files, the things in there are not that kind of like, they're quite different to how you normally write JavaScript for websites. Anyway, so we need to set up our variables, which are basically the references of all those packages that we've just installed. So var, we need to do var gulp itself. So var gulp, and that equals require gulp. So that's basically giving gulp a name in this file. And then we're going to do var again, and we're going to call this one bower, and it's going to be require main bower files. And you know what, because I installed it in a certain order, I'm going to put this one above this one. So gulp. No, we're not going to put gulp. We're going to put rename because we're in a gulp file. We don't need to keep saying gulp. So rename. So we're going to get this one going in the require. And then this one was called gulp rename. So cool. And just for a little bit of housekeeping. Let's do this to make it all nice and tidy. Let's call these create. The comment in my other file seems to be pretty good. Create gulp variables. Okay, so that's everything there. So what else we got going on? So we've got a gulp task here. We've got a task. Let's make a basic task, and that task is going to take something from one place and put it into another. And that is going to be exactly what we need for our JavaScript file. And we needed to take it from one place and put it into another place. So this won't require gulp rename, so we won't want to change what the file's called. But we will need to put it into a destination. I think that's what gulp does on its own. Okay, anyway, let's write some code. So let's call this a JavaScript task. And this is how gulp does it. It's a task. It's all named with tasks. So the task at hand is going to be called JS. I'm just going to call it JS for now. And we've got a function with empty brackets, and then we've got our curly braces, and then we're opening up. Okay. Now we need to return gulp src, and it says main files here, and that is okay. So we've produced another variable from Bower there. Interesting. So we're using rename. We've got Bower there. We've got Bower here. Interesting that we've got stuff going a bit weird there. Not really sure what that means. But anyway, we need to source our files, and our files are going to come from Bower. So I'm guessing if I do Bower and then do this with like empty braces, then that means it's going to get the Bower stuff. And then we've got a thing called pipe going on. As you can tell, I'm not really very good with this stuff, so we need to pipe rename and then this again, and then this again, and then this opens up. Do we want to? We don't want to rename. What's going on? No, we don't want to rename. We just want to pipe something. We just want to move something from one place to another. So dot pipe, and we're going to take it, and we're going to do gulp dest, and that destination is JS. That's it. Okay. So this is our first task. So I'm hoping this is going to work. You know, this is a basic form of a task. It's going to take the file from Bower, and at this minute it's only the HTML5 shiv, and it's going to pipe it into a JS folder. And that will be it. That's all it will do. So what we do now is we go over to terminal, and then we do gulp. We do gulp JS. That's worked. That's worked. So using gulp file, starting JS, finish JS over 27 milliseconds, and then if we go into Finder, we go into here, Et voila, that is our HTML5 shiv. That's the file. Success, success. I apologize if I haven't explained this very well, but it's like there was a difference between what I know a little bit more about templating with Jekyll as opposed to using JavaScript gulp tasks. So that's where it will get a little bit funny. But it's not that complicated. I mean, even I can like get the kind of simple stuff going on there, and I'm assuming on the gulp website, if we go on gulpjs.com, it's try it now. So you can install it, and then you can try a task. Simple one here, and it says var gulp require gulp task default. So you can set one called default. So I guess if we rename this task to default, I think if we just write gulp, it will do it, and that default is default. So you run gulp with this, and yeah, that's about it. What we need to do is we need an example. I'd like a little bit more of an example. I mean, this is a really nice example, a very simple concept of what gulp does. So here's the gulp documentation. Recipes. Whoa, that gets a little bit more complicated. Generating a file per folder. Wow, these examples are far too complex. Just want a simple one. Docs. Oh, it just goes straight through to this. Okay. Oh, these are plugins that go with gulp. So we've already got two of these suckers here. Right, okay. Okay, we'll leave that for now. So thank you previous me for doing the research into gulp tasks and getting the basics there. How are we doing for time? 22 minutes. Okay, that's all right. So let's do an update on git status. We've modified our package.json file. We've added a gulp file, and we've added a JS folder. Now, here's an interesting kind of concept. Is like we've created the JS folder, and we've got our JavaScript files in there, and Jekyll needs to take that and put it into the site. But we don't need to commit that. We don't necessarily need to commit that HTML5 shiv because it's in a Bower component. So you're kind of going against the concept of committing any files that are from external components. You shouldn't be like committing and pushing any of them. That's why we're ignoring the node packages and the Bower packages or the Bower components folders, because we don't need them. But we need to for Jekyll because it's flat file. It takes one file and puts it into another location, so it needs to take it from one and put it in the other. So it's a bit of a conflict there, but I'm not too bothered about that. I can live with that. What I'm going to do now is remember this in issue number, and then I'm going to. Do you want to put this over this side? There we go. So I'm going to do git commit package.json, and the message will be adds gulp dependencies, or adds first gulp dependencies. And we could do that fixes thing as well. We can do fixes or resolves hash 2, because install any gulp dependencies, this will sort these two out, and then this will close. This no longer needs to be because we've done everything in this list. I wonder what will happen with that tick box there. Whether it will tick it or I need to tick it afterwards. Okay, so we've done that commit, and we need to do git add gulp file JS and git commit and our message will be, I'm sorry, I noticed this in the video, I've got everything down here when it's easier to look a little bit more mid-level. Our message will be creates gulp file and adds first task. Okay, let's do git status again to check what we got. We've got the JS folder, git add JS slash, and if we tab, the only file in there is that. So git commit m, and the message will be adds HTML5 shiv using gulp. Done. Now we can do git push, and we've referenced this issue, we've resolved it, and it's closed it, and it hasn't ticked it off. Well, that would be far too clever, because how does it know what this says? How does it even know? So we'll tick that off, and this issue is fully complete. So I'm pretty pleased about that. Very low level stuff, you know, nothing that's going to make the site look any different to what it looks like now. But we've made progress. We've got setup stuff going on. Now we only have, oh, we still have 2 issues. Oh, it's cached, that's why. Jekyll startup. Well, we set up the thing, didn't we? We set this up. We can, well, we referenced it, and then we referenced it here, and then we did this, and it didn't work because I put the word issue. It probably wouldn't have done it anyway. So we can close this issue. We're done. So let's refresh this. No issues. All gone. All gone. What do we like for time? 27 minutes. I think we might have to close this off like soon, because half an hour is pretty elegant. Although we do need to reference our HTML5 shiv file, so we need to do that for sure, so we can confirm that files are actually being used together. So the HTML file needs to reference that JavaScript file. So let's get back in here and open up some files. So let's open up default.html, and we've got this HTML5 shiv stuff going on, when really what we can do is just do this source JS. Oh no, we can put a initial slash because it's the root. So it will be JS slash HTML5 shiv.js. And because this is for IE only, we won't really see any difference. But at least that we can go to this directory and it will be there. So let's run Jekyll locally to see if that's doing that. So Jekyll serve watch generated. It's going, so localhost 4000. Stuff is happening. And then if we inspect element, go into the header or the head, and we've got this thing here, which we cannot edit. Edit as HTML. There we go. We're going to be lazy and copy this, and then go to this. Et voila. Yes, it's there. It's pulling it through. So in theory, complete success. So let's stop our server and let's do git diff. See the difference. Cool, that's exactly what we did. So git commit am, just everything, and we changed our HTML. Our HTML5 shiv.js reference from Google CDN to our JS directory. Great. I'm going to do git push just because get everything up there. So have a looky look. Where are we going? Layouts. Default. Done. Clean. Alright. Okay, how are you? 31 minutes. I'm tempted to stop here and then start up another video tonight and leave them running once again. So then I can do them. I like the other videos, I just pushed them straight up and left them running, and they took ages to upload. But they worked, and they got them on there, and it's making progress. I just feel like keep making videos and doing bits of work, because the only time I can work on this site is when I'm recording. So it's like I have to do it. So let's set up an issue. Let's like create a new issue to like give ourselves a task for the next one. So another development task, assign it to myself. And what do we need to do next? Let's think about this. I feel like we need to get some referencing from external stuff. We need some front end aided frameworks. I want to get into some CSS. So let's import front end dependencies, and I'm going to use Borbon. Now, if you don't know about Borbon, that title explains it. A simple and lightweight mixin library for Sass. That is it. This is it, and it has lots of useful mixins. You can use it with Rails. Install for a non-Rails app. Use it with your favorite companion app, CodeKit. We need to find out. We need to do a quick look. How many minutes time? 33 minutes. Okay, we'll quickly have a look. Bower. Let's have a look. Because it's a front end dependency, we need to check if it's on here. Borbon. Look at all those buttons. Got so many different ways to install this thing. Alternatively, you can install Borbon with Bower. Just seems to say it just there. Anyway, Borbon has all these wonderful mix-ins for development, and it doesn't add anything to your bloat because it's just there if you need access to it. So you can like go, oh well, I need a mix-in for a gradient, and then all you have to write is just an @include linear gradient, job done. And then we can use like variables, like I want to put in Helvetica, or like stuff like that. So this is made by the guys at ThoughtBot. And then there's these other things as well that accompany it. Borbon Neat, a lightweight semantic grid framework for Sass and Borbon. So that would work together. So we can use, wow, that's quite interesting, classless grid structure where we can just use @includes. That's quite exciting. Quite like that. I don't like doing this because I have hit so many pitfalls with IE being a right sod. Like we've put HTML5 shiv for this element, so IE accepts it, but then CSS is left behind, and you sometimes just don't get these styles coming through. It will just be a right hassle. So I prefer to put classes on them. I just use the same name, so I'll just use it dot section, dot aside, and things like that. Yeah, I would like to use this very much so. It would mean that you wouldn't have to put any spans in or anything, which I've been using on my own grid structure that I just use for my own stuff. Yeah, look, you can install Neat with Bower. How much time have we got? Can we install these? Can we install these while we're still here? Let's go back again. What else have they got? Bitters. Scaffold styles, variables and structure for your Borbon projects. So basically we've got lots of nice, very similar, almost like vanilla Bootstrap going on here. Like just the flat, clean stuff, which I'm in favor of. It keeps everything tidy, almost like normalize going on here. We've got variables, grid settings, and variables specifically created for Neat, resets and breakpoints. Interesting. And what is refills? Refills are prepackaged patterns. Ah, yes, I really like this. I sometimes feel like making one of these myself. It's just a list of elements that you will commonly use, like, oh, I could really do with this tab structure. And you click show code, and here it all is. So you got HTML, you've got your Sass, and you even got the JavaScript right there. You can just copy and paste it, and that's the way you should use it. You don't want to be using it as a plugin in this case, because you want to change stuff, and all they're doing is just referencing their Borbon, Neat, and everything else. So this will come out as it looks. Another tab design, a browser thing going on here. Cards, good old-fashioned cards, ever the common thing. Navigation, simple and effective. Yeah, it's great stuff. Oh, we're coming up to 40 minutes, damn it. Quick, install them. Do them quick. Where's Bower? There it is. So let's install Borbon. So we can just do Bower install Borbon -- save. Done. Oh dear. Import front-end dependencies. Quick! Make the issue for itself. Borbon. Borbon. What was the other one? Neat. Oh my god, I'm going all over the place. Let's put this over here. Neat. Bitters. Okay, so we've got bitters. Those three. I've assigned that to myself. It's a development thing. I'm going to git status, and I'm just going to git commit AM, and I'm going to say installs Borbon dependency, and I'm going to put the commit number 10. Git push. Oh, it's not updated here. There we go. Thought it would auto update. So we've completed one of these tasks. I am going to stop it there and then possibly do another one. The next one we shall go into Borbon Neat and bitters, probably start playing around with it, make this look a whole lot better instead of a flat page with Times New Roman. So I will see you in the next video.